If this isn't rock bottom, then dear God, am I terrified of what might be.
You are Locked On Rangers, your daily Texas Rangers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are locked onto the Texas Rangers. I'm Bryce Paddock, a cripplingly addicted Texas Rangers fan, covering this team for 12 seasons, including all 7 as the founder and host of this podcast. You know what? I'm so mad at this stupid baseball team. I don't even want to do the rest of this intro. It doesn't feel like it deserves it. I just want to yell about how mad I am about the worst offensive performance I've ever seen in a baseball game. This was horrifying to watch. Absolutely horrifying. I recorded a show, just felt like a couple hours before the game, because it was just a couple hours before the game, saying, hey, if you can't get right against Jeffrey frickin' Springs with a 6 ERA, who just got his brains beat out by the 2025 Chicago White Sox, what can right the ship? What can right the ship? You had 15 runs earlier this week, and outside of that, you ain't done squat. Oh, Corey Seager's coming back on Saturday. That's nice. He's not going to fix this offense. This was just horrible from a guy who had been horrible all season long. They made him look like frickin' Sandy Koufax. He was not throwing good pitches. He looked bad. The Rangers made his line look good. He was not making quality pitches. He went 6 innings. He only needed about 5.5 pitches per inning to get through it. It was a little bit more than that. 68 pitches, only 45 of those were for strike, but he still made it through 6 innings, and he only walked 1. He only struck out 1. He only got 2 hits, a couple of singles that felt like miracles with this team. By some wild chance, they had some opportunities with runners in scoring position, just despite having the most inept offense I've ever seen in a baseball game. And they went, of course, 0-4 and found a way to leave every one of their 5 runners on base that they had in this entire game. Once Tyler Mahle let in that 1 run in the top of the first inning, by the way, the only run that he let in, it was brilliant yet again, unsurprisingly. I knew it was over. That was an insurmountable lead with how awful this offense has been. There have been pitches right down the middle that they just take, or they foul out, or they pop up. It's just weak contact over and over and over and over again. I mean, the Rangers got 3 hits. They had a 178 expected batting average. They were not expected to do much. And honestly, the 178 expected batting average feels generous with how horrific this offense looked. Heck, that was buoyed by a couple of near hits. Josh Young's fly out in the 9th inning and Jonah Heim's line out in the 9th inning. Josh Young's had a 560 expected batting average, and Jonah Heim's had a 360. And Marcus's swing and a miss to end the game on a pitch in the other batter's box is just kind of par for the freaking course. I mean, this offense just freaking sucks. It should be a lot better than this. Everybody in this lineup should be a lot better than this. But they're not. And it's been a month. And I don't know how or what or where the Rangers got themselves cursed by some kind of sea witch who stole their ability to hit baseballs. Whatever deal they made with Ursula, go undo it. Go undo it. Stop doing it. Everybody in this lineup should be hitting at least competently, but somehow collectively, every bat on this roster is just in the midst of a career worst funk at the exact same time. I don't know how that happens for a month. A month. I don't know what they're saying in the hitters meetings, but it's not working. I don't know what they're saying when they are in the dugouts in between at bats, but it's not working. I don't know what Bruce Bochy is telling them, but it's not working. Something dramatic needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. Whether that's a firing, whether they just cut a player outright, whether they beat a piñata in the locker room. I don't know. You sacrifice a goat in the hitters meeting? You gotta burn something. You gotta blow something up. You gotta do something at this point, because this should be a good team. This pitching staff is honestly really, really good. Jacob deGrom looks impeccable. Nathan Eovaldi last night, incredible. Today, Tyler Mahle looked really darn good. And it doesn't matter. This team is 504th place in the AL West just 6 days ago. They were at the top of it. They were cruising. Everything looked good enough. This offense was bad, but not horrifyingly bad. And I just don't know what to do anymore. I have no new things to say about this team other than it just sucks. It is infuriating to watch this baseball team. It is detrimental to me, to my career, to my well-being, my livelihood. The way I make my money is saying you shouldn't care about this team, but honestly, right now you shouldn't. They are infuriating to watch, and nothing's different. Nothing's new. Nobody's fired up. They're making boneheaded, stupid plays that they've never made before. Marcus Semien forgetting how many outs there are and getting double off on a routine flyout because he couldn't get back to first base because he didn't know how many outs there were. That's your team captain. That's your guy who never has mental errors. If he's doing stupid stuff like that, what hope do the rest of them have? It's just... I am so infuriated and beyond done with this team. It's just stupid. It's just bad. It's just the same dang thing every freaking day. That's why I got so excited when they scored 50 runs. I thought, okay, you guys did remember how to hit. Occasionally, it is possible for y'all to get a hit with runners in scoring position to drive in some runs. They haven't hit a home run in over a week. Over a week. It's awful. This team stinks right now. And I don't know why they seem to be taking it so easy. I'm sure they're not, but just give me something. I know internally each one of these guys cares. I'm not going to ever question that. I'll question the results for sure. The results, poo-poo. The process, poo-poo. I'm not going to question whether these guys care or not, because they obviously do. But I'd like to see this team that has been built as baseball robots, which it worked really, really well in 2023. Hey, don't get too high, don't get too low in that roller coaster ride. That's fine. But now they could use some urgency. They could use somebody standing up in a hitter's meeting and throwing a chair through a window, getting in a fight, punching somebody, screaming in somebody's face, doing something dramatic, because the same thing every freaking day is not working at all. I don't know what you do about it, but it's got to be something, and it's got to be now. It is well past time. Losing this series to the A's like this, when your bats look this helpless, this all in their head. I mean, it is painful. And there was a shot after an Adolis Garcia out of him in the dugout, of him just holding his face. You could see the pains on his face. This man wants nothing more than to just hit 1,000 dingers in one game and fix everything in one moment. These guys care so much, but just seeing them like this time and time and time again, it just makes me want to bash my head through a window. It is unpleasant, deeply unpleasant watching this baseball team suck the same way every freaking game. Oh my goodness. I don't want to hear talk about, oh, the Rangers need a real closer. Oh, the Rangers need a better 5-star. Oh, they need a deeper bullpen. No, the rotation, the pitching, you sweet, beautiful boys, you've done nothing wrong outside of the couple of things you've done wrong. But for the most part, this pitching staff has been exceptional, and the hitting has been so atrocious that I feel like every single hitter in this lineup, every single hitting coach in this dugout needs to write personal apologies to every single pitcher and pitching coach on this roster, because while the pitchers may not be absolutely perfect every single day, this offense is so horrifyingly, mind-numbingly, body and soul crushingly bad that it feels like I also, and you, dear viewer, for watching this, deserve personal handwritten apology notes, because my goodness, does it freaking stink right now. This show is brought to you by Fire TV. Did you know your Fire TV is also an Xbox? Turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controllers, subscribe, or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to go. Dive into hundreds of premium titles, including EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty. As easily as you stream your favorite TV shows, you can stream your favorite games. It is just so easy. If you've ever wanted to try out Xbox games without the big upfront investment in a console, Fire TV Stick 4K can be a low-pressure way to start exploring. If you ever find yourself flipping between the apps, you just want to find one that works, hey, you got another app in there that is a Fire TV stick that can just turn it into your Xbox, take it on the go, no matter where you're going. You don't have to lug this big old console around. You can just take your Fire TV stick, take your controller on the road, gaming made simple to travel. Head to Amazon.com/Fire TV locked on to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Shout out to the Everydayers for making Locked On Rangers your first listen every single day. If you're listening to this one, oh boy, you must be a real sicko. And I am glad that I can be here with you in this mess, in this madness, to let you know that this is very upsetting for everybody. Now, of course, Chris Young did this in the middle of me recording my episode. But there's some big breaking news that you may be wondering why I haven't addressed yet. It's because I hadn't seen it yet while I was recording this. I had to go in, record this thing separately. But Blaine Crim is coming up. Jake Berger's going down. I had talked about it all week that Jake Berger's been hitting horribly. He's one of the few regulars that's been horrible in this offense that still has some minor league options left. He has one. This is it. He's going down. The Rangers are doing something dramatic. There are going to be some 40-man roster moves to make this move happen, to get Blaine Crim up here, but it's time. It's time. It was past time, especially after this last game. It's not just a one-game reaction. I mean, right now, after this game, this was from Kennedy Landry, the Rangers offense, at the conclusion of today's game, scoring 3.22 runs per game. That's with the 15-run outburst. That's 29th best in baseball. League average is 4.33. Their walk percentage, 6.6. League average is 9%. They are 29th in all of baseball. On base percentage, 289. League average is 316. They're 28th in all of baseball. Heck, plate appearances with runners on base even. They aren't even getting people on base to have these opportunities to get these rallies going. They only have 424, and they are 29th in baseball with that, and with plate appearances with runners in scoring position. Also, they are just, they're bad. This is a dramatic move. The Rangers needed something dramatic, some new fresh face, something to go on. And, credit to Blaine Crim. He's been hitting. This is a man from Mobile, Alabama, who he hits. What position does he play? He hits. He plays first base. He's got a third baseman's glove on him. I hope that we don't see him at third base defensively, but the man hits. He works to walk. He'll strike out a little bit. He's got some real pop. He is the prototypical first base / DH type. And the Rangers need any kind of offensive injection and explosion. And Blaine Crim's been hitting pretty darn well. He hasn't been hitting incredibly. He hasn't been, untouchable. It hasn't been a point where, offensively you look at his numbers and think, oh my gosh, how can they possibly keep him down? No. And the jump, the gap between AAA and the big leagues right now, it is the Grand Canyon. It is huge. But the Rangers just needed something to kind of spark this offense. And sending a guy down to the minor leagues who the last couple years has combined for more than 60 home runs, that's a sign that, hey, no one here is untouchable. Figure it out. This offense needs some kind of injection. And this is the move, and I don't know if it'll be the last. Now, back to your regularly scheduled pre-Blaine Crim news rant. I don't know. I've been doing the same freaking show, it feels like, for the last, 15 months. Because almost every show I do this year, outside of the one after they scored 15 runs, I thought, okay, this offense is bad. There's some good hitters in it. It should be better. But they're not right now, but they'll get there. And then all of last year happened, and they never got there. And here we are this year. It's been a month of me saying, hey, wow, this pitching staff has been really darn good. That was at least a little different than last year. Last year it wasn't, oh, wow, the pitching staff's incredible. Just wait till this offense gets going. No, the pitching staff was fine to pretty good at points, but mostly just fine last year. This year it's really darn good. I mean, every pitcher on this roster, for the most part, they've done their jobs. From Jacob deGrom to Caleb Bosley, they have done their jobs. This offense just hasn't. And what was really infuriating for me, the most infuriating moment, well, there's a lot of moments to choose from. I mean, Josh Smith pinch hitting and striking out, and the one good chance that the Rangers had, that felt not great. Tucker Barnhart getting called out on strike 3 on a pitch that was several inches out of the zone. That was deeply infuriating because he worked a good at bat. Credit to Tucker Barnhart, who is not exactly an offensive juggernaut of a player, but he worked a good at bat, and he should have had at least one more pitch to work with. But for me, it was that the offense looked listless and lifeless, and that was a prime moment. That one right there opened a prime moment for Bruce Bochy to get thrown out of this game, to go in there and let the umpire have it. Let somebody have it. Let some frustrations out on somebody. Go scream it in his face. It was a wrong call. He was well within his rights to do that, but just do something. Kick over a chair, punt a puppy off a bridge. I don't know. Maybe don't do that. Maybe just, maybe that was not the right Anchorman reference for that moment. But do something, Bruce. Do something. You've done some dramatic lineup changes. That hasn't worked. You've done it again. It didn't work. And then it kind of worked. And then it very much hasn't worked the last couple of games. I don't know. The only guys who really have that fire to step up in a hitter's meeting and throw something and break a bat, I'd do something dramatic, are two of the guys that are in the worst of it right now. Is Jock Peterson, who's definitely got that juice to be a vocal leader, to be a guy to energize a locker room and bring the vibes. And he's been awful. It's hard to bring vibes when your own vibes are terrible because you've been in the worst slump of your career. At 0 for 41 skid, he's pulling out of it. He's looking better. He's been robbed by a couple of pretty good at-bats, including one yesterday that should have at least tied the game. It didn't because the A's defense is somehow incredible. Somehow, I guess the A's are good. You move them out of Oakland, and I guess John Fisher gets to have nice things. It feels unfair watching this team that has been systematically gutted go and play better than this Rangers team who has been built intentionally and been given resources and have been, successful. They won a World Series not that long ago. Basically, this same lineup that was unstoppable is very, very stoppable right now. I mean, something dramatic really needs to shift right now. There needs to be somebody whose head is put on a spike, metaphorically speaking. Nobody's actual head needs to be put on a spike. It's just baseball. It's not that dramatic. It feels that dramatic at times, and I'm sure it feels that dramatic for them. But I don't know who it is. Leody Taveras feels like the very obvious candidate, but heck, this game's not on him. He didn't play. He didn't play this game. This game isn't his fault. Heck, the last game that he played in, he had a hit. I believe he also had a walk. He had a 3-hit game in that win where it felt like everything was finally going right. he's had some pretty bad moments. And overall, the Rangers would be, it seems like they've mostly moved on from Leody Taveras, but it feels like it's Evan Carter time. It feels like it's Kellen Strom time. It feels like Jake Berger's going to be optioned here before long and give Blaine Crim a shot, because why the heck not? How much worse could it get? It truly, how much worse could this offense be? I don't know. I don't think much. Really, truly, I don't think much. Because this is about as inept an offensive series as I've ever seen. And they scored 15 runs in one of these games. Still, this is one of the most inept offensive series I have ever seen. This game just especially. What was the game plan? It felt like there was none. I don't know. I truly don't know. It feels like the Rangers need to part ways with their hitting coaches, because it might not be their faults, but they're not helping. Nobody's really helping in this one. Heck, even in the last couple games, even in this series, Wyatt Langford hasn't looked that great. He was the one guy who was hitting for anything. We've seen some multi-hit games from Marcus Semien. We've seen the multi-hit games from Josh Strong. It's just they can get these runners on base, but the second they get there, it's like they're swinging a freaking popsicle stick. I don't have any answers, and neither do they. And I really wish they did, because while it's absolutely maddening to watch this team score what a combined, what was it, 2 runs in the 3 of the games in this series. I believe it was 2 runs. Maybe it was 4. It wasn't many. Definitely wasn't more than 2 in any of these games outside of the big explosion that it feels like the most head-scratching moment. It feels almost more head-scratching. It's how this team was one of the best offenses in baseball and so incredibly deep and so unstoppable in 2023. And it's the same guys, and they're not impossibly old. They're not losing their athleticism. They're not that over the hill. So what the heck is it? What is going on here? It is the most confusing thing I've seen in a lot of baseball watching. This team should just do the thing. Just do it. Just do it. I don't know. Take a Nike commercial. Just hit the freaking baseball over the fence. Hit it hard. Hit it good. Just stop hitting it bad. Just, okay? I'm beyond my expertise, my functional knowledge of how baseball works. I have no stat for you. I have no deep dive insight. I have no, this one thing. Doctors hate him. This one thing could fix this Rangers lineup. And hitting coaches hate him. What is this one thing that can fix it? There's not. There's not one thing. The vibes are in the trash can. Everything feels like a bunch of garbage poo-poo. And this was one of the worst offensive series I've ever seen. I don't know what fixes it, and it's not going to get better soon. I really don't think it is. And this weekend against the Mariners in a crucial series is coming up, and this team is just about to get their doors blown off. Thank y'all for listening to Locked On Rangers every single day. If you are an everydayer, God bless you for sticking through it, through the madness and the mayhem and the me being cranky. I don't like yelling at this baseball team and being mad online. You can write in the newspapers that I'm mad. They should know. Someone should know. I'm sure they did write in the newspapers that Bryce Patrick got mad online. Actually, I don't think they did write that in newspapers, but I'm sure they wrote that Rangers fans mad online, mad IRL, mad in real life. For those of you who are not up with the hip and happening phraseology in this one. But what's incredibly frustrating is watching this team, because it'd be easy to say, hey, this team, every part of this team is just sucks and it's broken and there's no good there, and just throw it all in the trash can and be done with it. And that's not the case. That's not true. There are parts of this team that are really dang good. Tyler Mahle especially. The man has a 1.19 ERA this season. A 119. He's been fantastic. I completely written him off in spring training. I thought this guy's washed. This guy may not come back from Tommy John surgery. This guy just doesn't look like he has it. And especially after that first start where he didn't even make it through 2 innings, you thought, all right, well, this is going to be rough. There's no John Gray for 2 months of the season. There's no Cody Bradford for the first 2 months of the season. You have injuries to Leiter and to Rocker. Leiter, who missed over 3 weeks with a blister that initially was thought maybe he'd be making his next start. That was very much not the case. Rocker is hopefully just going to be down for those 15 days, and then they could make a decision. But honestly, it doesn't feel like it much matters at this point who's in the rotation, who's in the bullpen. If this offense can't score any runs, this is not soccer. You cannot draw. You cannot scour a point at a 0-0 draw, a hard-fought 0-0 draw. Have clean sheets. They don't matter if you can't score a run. Because, again, when the 2 leaders of your team, Marcus Semien and Corey Seager, are not vocal leaders, or the hitters on this team that are the most equipped to be vocal leaders are hitting horribly, it's hard to listen to them, hard for their message to sink in as well when they're playing horribly. If it was Wyatt Langford that was the veteran, who has been the only guy who's been hitting very, very well, could step up and say, hey, guys, I'm working my freaking butt off. Can y'all just get on base? Do offense better? It might carry some weight. If Jock Peterson was hitting 360, heck, if this was like my MLB Road to the Show or franchise mode, where Jock Peterson is hitting 450 with 20 home runs the first 40 games, then I'd like that situation to be the reality. But if he was doing that, his message of standing up and being a vocal leader would hit harder. But right now, when you've got an OPS plus that just barely got above the negatives, your message rings hollow. And whatever message this coaching staff is putting in, it's ringing hollow right now. I no longer have rational, reasonable, measured takes about what could actually fix this team, what could make this team go right. I've just gone down to my base instincts. I don't know, fire everybody, bench everybody, cut everybody, and just scrap this whole team and start again. It's not a reasonable place to be as someone who prides themselves on being at least attempting to be reasonable most of the time. I try and do that. I try and provide some measured takes, but this team is at 500, and honestly, it feels like a miracle they're at 500 right now. It feels like they're a million games under 500. You got to remember, hopefully this team can remember, hey, it's been bad. It has been painful. There's been a lot of really bad hitting going on here. But despite all of that, despite every single instance where this team gets shut out or scores 1 run or 2 runs, or the bullpen isn't able to hold the 0-run lead that they're given because this offense can't do anything, this team does still have a chance to turn things around. I don't really care about what all these historical measures and markers are about, oh, well, a team that's hit this crappily for the first 30 games of the season, they've never turned it around. I don't know that there's ever been a team that is really this talented that has hit this crappily, this spectacularly bad for this extended of a stretch. And with all of that, team's 500. You're 500. You're not that far out of it. If they take 2 out of 3 this weekend against the Mariners, they won't be far out of that top spot in the AL West. Technically, if they take all 3, I think they will be in first place in the AL West, assuming that Houston and the A's have mediocre weekends. Actually, with the game, they might be just out of first place in the AL West, but it's not that far off from this team actually being in a decent spot. They're not in a horrible spot. The AL West is shockingly much better than we all anticipated. Last year, it was probably the worst division in baseball. Probably. This year, well, it's sure not the best, but it sure as heck isn't the worst. Heck, the one team with 4 teams that are at 500 or better in the American League, that's the AL West. That's not the AL Central. It's not the dominant, unstoppable AL East. It's the AL West. These A's, they bang. And the Rangers kept them off the board for the most part in this series. Now, their pitching staff is fine. They've got some good pitchers. Mason Miller, incredible pitcher. Not scoring on him for a 4-game series, that's par for the course. Not scoring on Luis Severino, not ideal, but it happens. And not scoring on Jeffrey Springs just a week after he gave up 7 runs to the White Sox, that feels horrible. But even for all this maddening nonsense, they're still 500. I want to leave you with something nice to end of this weekend, but my goodness, after this week, it feels like the only nice thing I had to say is that you can try your very best to enjoy baseball.